Hello there, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Soul, and I have a wonderful video for you here today. We're talking about Dragon Ball Super Superhero, super-sized, super deluxe edition, and it's Dragon Ball season. How could I not be happier? Fucking Goku shooting Kamehameha waves in Fortnite.
But if you close your
Emotional damage, emotional damage, emotional damage, emotional damage.
But if you close your
Emotional damage, emotional damage, emotional damage.
People are talking about this movie. It's a great time to be a Dragon Ball fan and a great time to watch this movie. I was the last person on this planet to have seen this movie. I didn't watch it when I was on the shady websites at 480p. I didn't watch it when my brother finally had a good version of it to watch. I waited like a good American boy for my English dub in theaters, and finally I am here to talk about it. So no, I have not seen the film subtitled in its original Japanese glory. I am the fake fuck American that I am, and proud of it. That being said, I do have a lot of thoughts about this movie, and overall, I thought it was good. I did not regret my time at the theater. I don't think Dragon Ball is dead. I'm still probably gonna watch the next series. It didn't kill Dragon Ball or anything like that for me. Those are the stakes that this movie was at for me. But Dragon Ball Superhero, I am happy to report, was a pleasant experience, but as a Dragon Ball fan, you know we love to nitpick shit and then still shove it down our throats later. But that's exactly what I'm here to do today. Because going into this film, it was not your normal Dragon Ball experience, right? Because we've had the Dragon Ball Renaissance, Super, love it or hate it, it happened. The movies, Broly, people love and hate these properties, and that has kind of shaken up how people perceive Dragon Ball going forward. And then this movie comes out, and one of the first things we learn about it is that it's going to be a 3D CG style. It's a little bit more complicated than that. They're drawing over the model. It doesn't matter. It's a 3D CG movie. Considering Dragon Ball has this property that has been hand-drawn since the fucking 80s, it's a little wacky to see our characters flying around in CG. But we'll talk about that later. Then we found out that the movie was mostly about Gohan. It's really about Piccolo, but Gohan was like the poster boy of this movie, and it seems like he's going to be back into the spotlight. And I'm not going to lie, I was spoiled going into the film. Good luck being a Dragon Ball fan on the internet and not getting spoiled for this movie. Or I was just walking around my fucking con. I went to a con and they had like little art things around, and there's Gohan's new form. I couldn't have avoided it if I tried. And then for another video, I think I just Googled Piccolo, and I saw Piccolo's new form. I was like, God damn it. I can't do anything. But I still had no idea why the Red Ribbon Army was coming back, who Gamma 1 and 2 were. And I knew nothing about Dr. Gero's grandson being in this film. His name is Dr. Hedo, Dildo, Rildo, Tanjiro. Because we're trying to create this new Red Ribbon bad guy with a new Dr. Gero grandson thrown into the mix, but he's kind of a good guy, but he's really into superheroes. And they just throw this caveat in there that Dr. Gero had a son, and his son he looks like Android 16. I can't wait for the theories on that, but more importantly, his spouse, his waifu, Dr. Gero's partner, was Android 21.
What?
So you're telling me this dude and this girl, and they... What? I learned a lot about Dr. Gero in like 2 sentences, and I'm still just like, what the fuck? But we'll talk about the Red Ribbon guys in a minute. For starters, I want to talk about Piccolo. Piccolo, in the year 2022, the year of our Lord and Savior, has practically his own movie, and it happens to be like the best grossing anime film now. Piccolo, my fucking boy, coming in center stage. He's got a new form in this movie. There's gonna be spoilers, by the way. Piccolo is basically just in like a slice of life episode of Dragon Ball, which this is supposed to be the era of peace, right? Where nothing bad is ever going to happen again, obviously. Even though like 10 things happen in between Boo and this, but whatever. But it's a time of peace, a time where Piccolo can wag his finger at Gohan and be like, you should train more, and Gohan's like, but ants. Have you not heard about these cool ass ants? This is where like the manufactured era of Dragon Ball starts to like clash with itself. Dragon Ball was supposed to end with the Boo saga, but the Boo saga was supposed to be like the last hoorah. It was okay for Gohan to get lazy and not care about fighting because he was always a scholar, and now that the time of peace has come, he didn't have to ever worry again because there wasn't going to be anything ever again. So Toriyama didn't have to worry about making Gohan like fighting shape all the time. That's why the Videl Great Saiyaman stuff, I'm always okay with it because it's already supposed to be the end. We already like beat the final boss, who was Cell. And now it's like, oh no, the Boo saga, we gotta do one last heist. And that's where Ultimate Gohan comes in. So as far as Dragon Ball Z is concerned, Gohan never dropped the ball. But the second Super starts, he gets one shot by first form Frieza, and he has never recovered. The beautiful time where Gohan was the strongest, just massacring Cell Juniors. That was a beautiful time period, but it is long dead and gone. Or so we thought before the people at Toei's thought we had to get that spark back. We had to get the asses in seats. Piccolo's not going to sell out his own movie. Put Gohan on the poster. New form. Does it make sense? No. Doesn't matter. Make his hair taller. He's a fucking savage just like he was at the Cell games. He's a fucking beast. You know what? Let's even call it that. It's Beast Gohan. What is it? I don't fucking know. We'll explain it at some point, maybe. Just like we did with Trunks' rage form. You remember that when they didn't explain that? That was dumb. But the point I wanted to say was the first half with Piccolo just on his daily quests, and then he suddenly gets attacked by Gamma 2, big battle, all of that stuff I loved. And then he fucking infiltrates the Red Ribbon base. Even the part where they make a wish on the Dragon Balls have been very poorly handled in recent Dragon Ball years. They even get a power-up in this movie because Dende had some fucking water he poured on it. Water. You just pour some water on it, and but Kami didn't know about that? This is what happens when you have like 20 different writers and only like half of them remember what the fuck's up. So yes, the first half of this movie, there's some missteps, but it's still a fun Dragon Ball adventure. Before we get farther along though, let's talk about that art style, the 3D art style. Again, I was going in like a scared child, like his first day at the dentist, and I was like, I don't know about this, guys. Something doesn't feel right. And I walked away pleasantly surprised, actually, because Dragon Ball Super already kind of butchered like what Dragon Ball looks like to me in the modern age. Like episode 5 of Dragon Ball Super, not even counting that, just the art style of the show in general, it's never going to compare to what Dragon Ball Z looked like. Dragon Ball Z was a much slower show. It had its own set of problems, but at least the art style to me always looked better. The worst, I'm not trying to say it's the best looking show ever. There are some frames of Dragon Ball Z that look like dog shit. But for me, I was always much more fond of the old style. But now we have a completely new style. Ironically, it actually feels very Toriyama. Like the first opening act of this, where it's just the Red Ribbon guys and like there's all these wacky characters and a lot of goofy moments, and they can pull off comedy really well sometimes with this. And I was actually very fond of that. Some character designs don't translate well to 3D. I think Whis looks terrible.
What the fuck was that?
I think Gohan's new form could have looked a lot better if it didn't look like this. Bulma, Android 18, Krillin's, like a lot of the designs I just wasn't super fond of, but there is much more fluidity in 3D. When the battles are happening, the days where we just kind of punch very slowly and that takes like a whole episode, those days are long gone, but now these fights are faster, stronger, not necessarily better. I always like my original pace Dragon Ball Z fights where there's a little bit more story to it, but as far as spectacle goes, like, you watch some scenes in this movie and it's like you're looking through a fucking kaleidoscope because there's so much electricity and energy beams, and it's beautiful, man. That being said, though, there's not going to be a single fight on this that breaks my top 20 fights. There's not a transformation that's going to break my top 20 transformations. What I loved most about this film was that it actually kind of captured the characters again. Piccolo is a character that hasn't felt fully captured since maybe even the Cell Saga. And to see him kind of come full circle, he's once again a mentor, but now to Pan, and seeing Pan finally get older and all of that stuff. I love that. Gohan kind of realizing why he has to protect his family, why he has to step out of his office every so often. And the fact that Pan doesn't realize how strong he is, we kind of see this film from Pan's perspective, a lot of it, where if you never watched Dragon Ball and you watch this film for the first time, you're basically seeing the film from Pan's naive point of view, where you're like, oh, Piccolo's my big strong mentor guy, but he's not strong enough to do this, but supposedly my dad can, and Gohan can, and we realize, oh yeah, he's still got it. That being said, I don't think he should be stronger than guys who have been training with gods every single day for fucking who knows how long. And this takes place after the manga, so that means Gohan's probably stronger than Master True Pure 100% Ultra Instinct.
What the fuck is going on?
So that's where this film gets kind of weird. Like, I really was enjoying the first half of it, and then it gets into like the fighting, and the fighting looks so good at the same time, and they're doing exactly what I want. I always wanted Gohan to kind of finally get back into the center stage. I always wanted Piccolo to get a lot more of a shine. In my Dragon Ball Super rewrite, that does happen, but I didn't want it to be so abrupt, and I wanted it to make sense and feel natural, and to kind of see it just manufactured and just kind of misplaced and, dare I say, butchered. It doesn't sit well with me. And a part of me feels like Gohan, the second this movie's over, the second we get back into the next chapter of Dragon Ball, he's just gonna take his place in the back seat and he's gonna slap his fucking glasses back on, and it's just, why? And it's so weird because the first half of this film, they're really taking into accountability, like, that Piccolo used to be Kami, Dende's getting older, like the timeline is finally starting to match the end of Z. Trunks and Goten are getting older. The fact that they don't remember Fusion quite right because it's been so long, like, a lot of these little touches where I'm like, wow, like, whoever was writing this really took into accountability certain things of Dragon Ball, and like how the Red Ribbon guys don't know how strong Hercule is. A lot of that stuff was like, wow, they really paid attention to the details. And then, like, they're like, oh, this is Cell Max. We created Cell Max by studying, I guess, that one broken ass camera that barely caught any footage of him that one time. Cell Max, everybody. Cell Max is dumb. Like, I tried to have like a positive spin on him for a while. Like, I tried to think of something positive to say about him first, but I got nothing. This is not my man's right here. So we are doing that thing again where we're bringing back old villains, which I'm fine with if you do it right and bring the characters justice. That is not what happened here. You bring back some nostalgia bait just so he can be in his second form, and then he can turn into a red kaiju monster with no memories of what he used to be. Like, this isn't the same guy. It could have just been a new monster. Why do we have to slap Cell on it? And why does he have to be called Cell Max? He looks disgusting. And no offense to Orange Piccolo, we gotta get better names for this, guys. Orange Piccolo is like a halfway decent transformation. I'm conflicted about that. And then Gohan's beast form, I would have loved it when I was 13, but like something about it, man, because we've come to this new era of Dragon Ball, right? Where characters are inevitably going to get transformations. And they're also going to get these transformations out of fucking nowhere. Piccolo fought Gamma 1 or 2, whichever, and then he like was in a pinch, made a wish on the Dragon Balls, boom, new form. Not fully explained. Not probably ever gonna get explained. And then Gohan sees Piccolo in trouble, and I think that's proper motivation, but it was very rushed. The transformation scene was like fucking 20 seconds long, and then we have this new beast Gohan. I need more clarification. I need something other than we just powered up just because. They might do some retcons or clear things up in the future, but as it stands, I'm not a fan of how they handled the climax of this film. I don't mind them bringing everybody back. It was cool almost seeing Tien gotenks, but when it felt like Gohan and Piccolo's movie and we finally pushed Goku and Vegeta to the background, and then suddenly everybody else shows up, it's kind of like, well, what the fuck? Where were you guys the whole movie? But then he hits him with the special beam cannon, and they have like a really sincere moment with that after the fact, and I like choked up a little bit. And that's basically my experience in a nutshell with this movie. Is I'm very conflicted about it. I had a fun time. There are certain things I am able to turn my brain off, certain things I cannot. And by the end of it, we have a new art style, which I was pleasantly surprised with. It looked good. It was so fluid. I don't want it to be the style going forward. The second this turns into a TV show that looks like this, it's going to be awful. That being said, the story was a B story, let's be honest, but I'm completely fine with that because it was fun and interesting. Certain nostalgia baity things and certain things that got retconned or ass pulls, all of that I didn't like, but a lot of that was stuff I could turn my brain off for until the final battle where things got a little wacky. But again, it felt intense and it was pretty fucking hype. But even just like the very final moments of this film with Pan flying around, or even the after credit scene where Vegeta finally beat Goku, again, these are characters I grew up with. There's not a time in my life where I don't remember who Goku and Vegeta and Gohan were. These were people, these are characters that have been burned into my brain countless times. And to see them doing a lot of these characters right, a little bit wrong in some places, but to see them doing them right, giving them little moments that put a smile on my face, or like maybe alluding to previous arcs and like maybe wrapping them up a little bit, these were things that I cherish, but it's just bogged down with a lot of the modern day Dragon Ball bullshit. So if I had to sum it up into a number, I'd probably give Dragon Ball Superhero a strong 7 out of 10. So if we're going by power scaling, it's worse than Battle Gods, about on par with Resurrection F, worse than Broly. Still a 7 though. So I had a lot of thoughts about this movie, as you can see. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching as always, and until next time, with that, I leave you.